So here we're starting to get the boat on plane to come out of a harbour, and we're entering the test racetrack. So we're getting on plane here, the throttles are down, we've got the tabs down to get the boat level, to get it on plane. Bring the tabs up now to get the boat up to speed, and bringing the drives a little bit because there's probably 3 to 4 foot waves out here. You can see us cutting through. There's one of the other competitors in front of us here off to the left, and we're just going to pull in behind them as we go through the track and check out the corners that we're going to be racing on. So right now we've got Michael Silfverberg, who's on the steering wheel of the Silver Hook, and on the left side of the boat, underneath the copper you can see here, is myself, Nigel Hook. I'm the throttle man, so I've got the throttles and I'm kind of playing with those now. As the boat starts to lip up like this, I'll back off on the throttles a little bit, keep the RPMs from climbing, and then back on as soon as the boat starts to hit the water. This is the 4th year we've been testing and racing actually in Malta, the Lucas Oil 77, and we're probably at this point in time doing about 75 miles an hour, just kind of feeling out the racetrack. And you can see there's not a lot of point of reference. Just off to the side is the beach with the hotels there, and so that's quite a bit in the distance. And so we're going up the track now, and looking for the buoys on the racetrack as to where we need to make our first turn. I think I can see a buoy coming up on the right hand side if I'm not mistaken. We've got probably a little bit better visibility. Here we go. This is the on the right here. We're going to go through. That's the A1, the start line, and then we'll come out here, and there should be on the track, maybe on the test track there won't be, but on the racetrack there's a Bravo buoy, which is a red one off to the left, which we make a left-hand turn on. And so as we come up to this buoy, we're actually right now flat out in the boat, running probably about well over 100 miles an hour, and Michael's got the wheel. I'm trying to balance the boat with the tabs, the trim tabs on either side, and oscillating the throttles to keep the RPMs constant, and searching for the next buoy. And here you can see it on the left hand side here. We're going to make this turn now. You'll see the boat lean over to the left as we set it, and then we'll start to power through as we heel the boat over. And just off to the right you'll see the first that'll be Charlie buoy, which will be making a right-hand turn on. And so we've got to move out a little bit to the left. Michael will be given a little bit of room so he can swing in to make that right-hand turn. And we're hitting some seas head-on now. You can see we're getting some air as we come down. And so at this point, what I'm doing is on the throttleman side, I'm trying to keep the boat as level as possible. Keep the propellers in the water, keep the maximum thrust to drive the boat forward. And so I've got the drives in a negative trim position, which means the drives are deeper in the water to give us more grip. Now I'm setting the tab to come around the corner. You can see how much the boat banks to the right-hand side. Comes down pretty heavy. It's not designed to literally land on the side as much as on the V going straight forward, so it's a pretty hard banging here. And here's the second buoy, which would be Delta. As we go around Delta, then head back down to the race course. Now we're flat on it. We got the full power down. We're bringing the tabs up. We got the drives tucked in now to kind of keep the boat as level as possible. And we're going to be hitting some pretty good water. There are about 4 footers, maybe even 5 footers out here right now. So you'll start to see the boat fly, and occasionally the bow will come down and crash into the water. It splits it off to the port and starboard. Then coming up here, we got just a slight dog leg of a right-hand turn. You can see the buoy now at about 1 o'clock up there. That's buoy Echo, and we'll be turning Echo very shortly now. We want to get as close to this as possible. We're flat out. No backing off on this one because it's only about a 40-degree arc. Okay, so now just to recap here, this is the 77 Lucas Oil Scandinavian Offshore Challenge. It's sponsored by Peters & May, that does the transportation of this boat across the continents. And it's a 48-foot Silverhook, brand new boat, brand new design, Swedish design, built in America. And this boat is designed for high speed and calm races, and also to have the agility in the rough water. And it's handling, you can see, really nicely now. It's not chine walking like a lot of monohulls tend to do, and it's cutting through the water really nicely. Michael and myself, Michael's on the wheel, we're communicating backwards and forwards all the time, looking for the next buoy, deciding how to set the boat up. I'm communicating to him, you know, where the tab settings are to stop the boat from trying warping, and setting the trim to keep the nose at the right attitude. So we're cruising down here now, probably well over 100 miles an hour, catching a little bit of air. Hopefully not landing too heavy on the bow where the water's going to come crashing over the nose. We did that a couple of times in the race, but that's not a good thing to do necessarily. The really key aspect of racing these offshore boats is to keep the boat as level as possible. Here we go, setting into the turn now. As we go down, that'll be Foxtrot as we're coming back into the far end of the course. And this is a 180-degree turn, and we're doing a nice arc on this, which we feel is the fastest way around. And as we heel the boat round, this is on the last turn here, coming back up to complete one lap. 4.7 nautical miles, it's just around 2 minutes for lap time. And we're heading back up, and that's the conclusion of our first lap of testing from Nigel Hook at the controls of the 77 Lucas Oil Silverberg.